In 70 times 7, a gripping and unflinching exploration of childhood abuse unfolds through a faith-based lens. This screenplay authentically navigates the intricate journey towards forgiveness, portraying the harsh realities of trauma and the complex intersections of spiritual faith with deep psychological scars. With a tone that balances raw emotionality and resilience, it delves into the messy process of emotional healing, an ongoing journey challenging the audience to confront the difficult truths of forgiveness and redemption. Sean Grayson, a 40-year-old man with a calm presence, sits at his laptop writing about the silent struggle of recovering from abuse and forgiveness. As he types, we learn he's documenting his painful journey, a story far more common than society admits, where hidden wounds and buried secrets lie beneath surface normalcy. Through Sean's conversations with Pastor Paul, we learn about his mother, Jeanette, a radiant young woman whose life took a dark turn after an unplanned pregnancy with Sean. The resentment began before Sean was even born, feeling trapped, forced to give up her job and newfound independence. Her husband, Ray, is overjoyed. She told Ray she wanted an abortion, but he refused, creating a painful divide in their marriage. An eccentric, wealthy friend had convinced Jeanette that her baby might be the reincarnation of her deceased sister, and she would provide wealth and security for the whole family, but only if it was a girl born on a specific date. When Sean was born a boy, Jeanette's disappointment turned to outright rejection. She refused to hold her newborn son, turning away in tears. This rejection marks the beginning of Sean's lifelong struggle for his mother's love. Sean's childhood becomes a nightmare of neglect and abuse. When his father, Ray, travels for work, Jeanette beats him violently for minor mistakes, while his older sister, Renee, both protects him from their mother and sexually abuses him herself, creating a confusing cycle of trauma. The abuse was so regular that Sean would pray for his father's return from business trips, as the beatings only happened when Ray was away. At 16, Sean found refuge in a church youth group where he experienced acceptance and spiritual awakening for the first time. During an emotional altar call, he broke down sobbing as the youth pastor spoke about God knowing their pain from abuse and neglect. Sean accepted Jesus into his heart, feeling loved and heard for the first time. This began his journey toward healing. He finds friends who don't mock his faith and meets Michelle, who would later become his wife. This spiritual community becomes his refuge from the abuse at home, though his mother fiercely opposes his involvement. As Sean grew in his faith, he heard a sermon that would haunt and challenge him for years. Jesus' teaching to forgive not 7 times, but 70 times 7. The concept of limitless forgiveness felt impossible for someone who had endured so much abuse. Sean sat in the pew, tears welling in his eyes, wrestling with how to apply this to his own trauma. Sean grows into adulthood, becomes a pastor, marries Michelle, and starts a family of his own. He consciously breaks the cycle of abuse, creating a loving home for his daughters, Jessie and Victoria. However, his mother's toxicity continues to affect family gatherings, and church politics create additional stress in his ministry. During a Christmas family gathering, Sean finally confronts both his sister Renee and his mother Jeanette about the abuse. Renee breaks down and apologizes, leading to emotional reconciliation. But when Sean confronts his mother, she coldly tells him, "You deserved it," and demands he apologize for ruining her life, which shatters any hope he had of maternal redemption. Sean walked out, declaring he never had a mother. As Jeanette lies dying of cancer in the hospital, she writes Sean an apology letter, expressing regret and asking for forgiveness, but her pride prevents her from sending it. She dies with the letter crumpled on the floor, leaving Sean with unanswered questions and unresolved pain. After everything, the childhood beatings, the sexual abuse, the years of resentment, can Sean truly forgive his abusers? Not as a single moment of catharsis, but as a difficult, ongoing process that acknowledges the scars while refusing to let them control his future. And what does forgiveness even mean when some abusers never repent, after both his mother and sister passed away? At the funeral, Sean found himself burying the ashes of the 2 people who hurt him the most, while being surrounded by his new family and the people who loved him the most. As he lowers their ashes into the ground, he whispers, "I forgive you, Mother," not because she earned it, but because he needs to be free from the burden of unforgiveness. Sean made the difficult decision to resign from his pastorate to care for his aging father and write the book he'd been contemplating for years, the story of his abuse and his journey toward forgiveness. He realized that while scars remain, they no longer control him, and his story might help others find their own path to healing. Sean completes his book 70 by 7, Forgiving Your Abusers, transforming his pain into purpose. His family worships together at church, whole and healed. The story comes full circle as Sean finds freedom not by erasing the past, but by transforming it through faith and forgiveness. In the end, Sean stands surrounded by his own family, his wife Michelle, their daughters and grandchildren, watching an original song in church, Here's Where It Happens. He's achieved a fragile peace, understanding that forgiveness isn't about excusing the abuse, but about freeing himself from its power. The scars remain, but so does the love that surrounds him now. 70 times 7 is a new screenplay based upon a true story and book by author Scott Green, already available on Amazon.com, Amazon Kindle, and online bookstores everywhere.
I'll run into your